Hello, this is your 10-minute use case-based discussion with Dr. Coates. In this UCBD, we take a look at DougallGPT. Now this all began when I received a message in my LinkedIn inbox inviting me to try DougallGPT. So I did, and here's what I found. DougallGPT is basically a healthcare GPT agent with a chatbot interface for healthcare professionals. It can assist with diagnosis, it offers treatment suggestions and prescription support. It also has related prompts which suggest further avenues for exploration. Following your search, you then get some educational links to follow for more information. I tried out the search with a diagnostic query firm. Given my area of expertise, I focused on a pediatric case using a common presentation. As you can see, the pruritus ani scenario was correctly interpreted and the lead differential offered was worms, which is what I had in mind. The secondary differentials were pretty decent. However, I would have liked to see something about candida, foreign bodies, non-accidental injury. These would have been more likely in this age group than proctitis or IBD. Next, I asked for prescription support for some TPN. Again, the answer is entry level. It's accurate as an umbrella approach. If I wanted to have a broad understanding of a TPN prescription task, sure, this answer works. However, does that help me punch in my sodium potassium AQS ETC? No, it doesn't. If I was a houseman in the middle of the night hoping to get the TPN prescriptions in by the morning without waking up my registrar, I would be out of luck here. The granularity is not quite there. In the popular prompts section, it is useful to see what other physicians are using the tool for. Diagnosis, treatment, explanation, drafting letters. The drafting letters looked interesting, so I thought I'd try it out. Now, I prompted the GPT with a brief history of an 8-year-old with lichen sclerosus. I must confess, I do like the touchy-feely flourishes in the resulting letter. Apparently, in addition to her symptoms, which were added on by the GPT, the condition is causing distress to both her and her family. The letter also mentions previous management with topical corticosteroids. Now that's a rather clever way of prompting the user to start treatment. It feels a little high-handed, but it's an impressive use of LLM to backtrack and answer questions it hasn't actually been asked. A whole paragraph is dedicated to convincing the dermatologist of the importance of review and flattering them into doing their job. Niceties do matter, and everybody loves a courteous letter. However, as somebody who receives many referrals, this is a little TLDR. Having tried the tool, I quite like to find out a little bit more about its architecture, its provenance, before I can safely rate it. So I tried to fill out a standard model card for DougallGPT. Now here's where it gets interesting. I got most of the model card information from the terms of use. Beyond this, I can't find much of an online footprint for DougallGPT. The terms of use are pretty boilerplate. The company appears to be registered in Luxembourg and across the Atlantic in New York. I can't find out what the GPT was trained on. Most of the educational references that link out go to a website called Peer Review, which seems to have a lot of US-based physician presentations. We cannot reliably assess relevant factors, intersectionality, bias in data, all these key things that affect model performance without these key data about its provenance. I also do worry that given demographic differences across the Atlantic, there's a chance that there's differences in emphasis based on the fact that we have a primarily free healthcare system and they have a primarily insurance-based healthcare system. In summary, there are plenty of caveats to think about here. The GPT are quite clear that you use this content at your own peril. There is no recourse at all should any error. I can see how this chatbot would save some time if I was in my early years working in a busy emergency department and needing some ideas to work with when I'm tired or stressed. However, as an expert evaluator, I cannot say that there were any new or transformative insights available here. In UK currency, I would consider this agent at SD5 generously. It also appears that the educational reference material favors expert reviews of topics, which is level 5 evidence, rather than pointing towards primary sources of high-level data, for example, randomized controlled trials. As a consequence, I worry there's going to be a generational gap where young doctors consider critical analysis as something that somebody else does, where they learn to accept pre-digested evidence from GPTs and leave the investigation and production of high-level evidence to others. In summary, I can't fully rate DougallGPT as I was unable to find most of the information on the model card. However, it will have its proponents and it will find its users, of this I'm sure. So do try DougallGPT, send in your comments. Do you agree with my SD5 rating or have I been generous? And that's the use case based discussion with Dr. Coates.